Hey everyone, Camelfish here. When I first played this level, I honestly didn't pay much attention to how the route looped from the Plaza's side paths all the way to the boss gate. It wasn't until I recreated the level that I realized they actually removed the entire middle section of the original Plaza. Instead, they opened up a new route on the right to showcase the ruined city and the Workshop Union Tower. Then, they reconnect everything back to the original layout with an elevator on the far side of the tower. Overall, it works pretty well. The combat is intense enough that the pathing issues don't really stand out. Back when the Plaza was a tutorial area, it had 10 basic enemies to help players learn the combat. This version isn't nearly as forgiving. The Plaza now has 11 regular enemies and 2 elites holding down the area. As soon as you leave the Plaza, a wandering experiment grabs your attention, while the towering Minotaur elite on the right is already sending a clear message. There's an elite over there, be careful. After luring players toward the item on the left, the level gives them an angle where they can spot an ambush enemy waiting ahead. Move a little farther forward and you'll aggro 2 enemies at once. Thankfully, their stats aren't too threatening. Over here, I'm trying to find a safe angle so I can fight the elite one-on-one. The moment I get close, 2 puppets activate. I turn around and realize there's not 1, but 2 of them. Luckily, we're right next to the Stargazer. Let's clear the small enemies first. After that, I notice there's also a dog coming in. It probably got stuck on the environment and only managed to flank me now. Almost got myself killed there. Let's create a little space. I haven't fought many elites that rely entirely on delayed and fast attacks like this, so perfect guarding it consistently is pretty difficult. Let's just brute force it. Just like before, the Plaza is packed with pickups that encourage players to fully explore the area. The old puppet enemies have all been replaced with tentacle puppets. Some enemies have also been swapped out for slightly tankier experiments to keep things from getting repetitive. Here's the second elite. The designer deliberately has it standing there with its hammer raised high so players can spot it and prepare themselves. There's even a valuable treasure chest here, which tells you the designers consider this elite a serious threat. Its aggression is definitely high, but it's still not quite on the level of the Minotaur. It introduces a new mechanic too. After becoming staggered, it will throw out a wild attack sequence that hits everything around it. Personally, I think an attack like this isn't threatening enough. A grab mechanic would have been more interesting. Imagine if it used the grab after being staggered and successfully landing it reset the stagger meter. That would make players take these delayed stagger executions much more seriously. We continue around the center area and take down an experiment in just 3 hits. The original main path is now blocked off, and sitting on top of the obstruction is a new disruption dog. It's not placed by itself either. It's paired with an experiment, and the combination nearly got me killed by madness. After dealing with them, we follow the yellow lights, and the camera naturally catches the previously locked gate opening. This route mainly serves as a transition into the next area, so it's fairly simple. A couple of carcasses help bring some life to the street. You can spot a huge enemy smashing a door from quite a distance away. Looking at its size, I think it deserves the highest level of respect a carcass can get. It may swing slowly when pounding the door, but that transforming charge attack is surprisingly fast, and the combo even finishes with a transforming hammer attack. Looks pretty cool. Unfortunately for it, it ran into a stat monster like me. Barely scratched my coat. Let's take a look around the area, following the yellow lights and nearby loot. Thankfully, years of Souls games have trained me well. I immediately spotted the ambush enemy hiding in the blind spot. Enter the building with the smashed open door and activate the first Stargazer of the level. Head upstairs and you'll meet an NPC. Honestly, the most valuable things here are the converters and the shovel weapon. To be honest, Lies of Peace NPC system feels a bit underdeveloped. Most NPCs exist purely for side quests and don't have much depth or personal story. This merchant is basically an NPC among NPCs. The game even gives you a supply crate, so you can just go back and buy everything from the butler without affecting progression at all. Open the door, and after a short cutscene, we arrive in the ruined city. Here we encounter a new environmental hazard, pillars that apply the disruption debuff. Other than slowing down combat and preventing players from rushing in recklessly, these pillars don't really add anything particularly interesting. Up ahead, one of these pillars combined with 2 hammer enemies and a cliffside environment killed me 3 times. Mostly because I was being greedy and trying to clear everything too quickly. The path on the right is a dead end. We grab an ergo fragment and move on. At best, I'd call this a tutorial encounter designed to teach players that combinations like this exist in the level. We cross the cliffside by walking over the collapsed billboard to the other side. This right angle corner lets players spot an item across the way, hinting that there's another area to explore. Turn the corner and there's another disruption pillar. Honestly, this one doesn't add much. It's too far away from the experiment to create any meaningful interaction. 4 hits and it's down. Whenever I see a path I can take, I've got to check out where it leads. A shot put. 2 throws are enough to destroy a disruption pillar. Great find. Now our attention shifts back across the gap, and the whole situation is clear. 2 disruption pillars and 2 hammer enemies. The player's goal is to grab the dimensional butterfly while dealing with all 4 of these threats. Smash the first pillar, then make a run for it. Still no butterfly, so I sprint over and destroy the second pillar as well. Alright, let me show you what happens when you try to brute force a setup like this. Better to play it safe and deal with them one at a time. The moment I hit the butterfly once, I realized the hammer enemy is already behind me. Luckily, the other hammer enemy hadn't made it over yet, or I definitely would have died again. After removing the only thing that could knock me off the cliff, I find the butterfly still waiting for me. Ah well, missing one isn't the end of the world. Head left, and then we enter another side path. The large platform ahead is packed with disruption enemies. Before dealing with that, let's see what's up this little staircase. Well, that was underwhelming. This area is tied to a side quest, but I think the NPC could have been placed here from the start. Then their dialogue could hint at the conditions for triggering the quest later on. That would make the level feel more alive, instead of spawning the NPC only after the quest becomes available. Disruption pillars and disruption dogs are basically designed to punish reckless players. Just kite them around and take them out one by one. There are 3 corruption dogs and 2 disruption pillars in total, with plenty of room to fight them safely. The only problem is that the reward is pretty disappointing. Lies of P actually has some great elite enemy designs. Honestly, replacing this whole disruption setup with a single tanky elite would have made for a much more memorable encounter. Keep moving forward, and you'll reach the item we spotted earlier after making that 90-degree turn. That also brings us above the area with the disruption pillar and the hammer enemies. Jumping down from here avoids any backtracking. The whole road loops around naturally and leads you back to the main path. Really nice level flow. Continue forward, and there's another elite waiting alongside 2 more disruption pillars. Break this pillar first, then pull the elite away before fighting it. I used to treat Fable arts like family heirlooms and never wanted to spend them. Now I use them all the time. The difficulty feels much lower because of it. I was about to destroy the pillar up ahead when an experiment suddenly rushed out. If that experiment had just a little more health or stronger poise, the disruption build-up probably would have killed me instantly. Walk over here and unlock the shortcut. Right beside the shortcut is the main route. Head upstairs through the building to reach the next level, as a reward for thoroughly exploring the map. Another disruption pillar and a pulse cell. Thanks, I guess. From here, you can see a platform where we fought the tentacle elite earlier. It's so close that this shortcut actually feels kind of unnecessary. I'd remove it and place a billboard bridge here instead, letting players continue naturally after beating the elite. Follow the obvious streetlights into a small room. Thanks to my memories from a previous life, I already know there's an elite waiting inside. Give me a second to prepare a proper welcome. This enemy killed me during my first playthrough. It's incredibly aggressive and builds corruption really quickly. In such a cramped room, it's easy to panic, spam dodges looking for a chance to heal, and end up eating another full combo instead. This time I came prepared. I threw everything I had at it and finally brute forced the fight. Without using Fable Arts, you'd pretty much have to take turns trading attacks until it finally goes down. But once you're afflicted with corruption, the fight becomes incredibly difficult. After the fight, we head back outside. There's a yellow glow tucked away in the corner. Pretty obvious, and sure enough, there's an item there. Head upstairs to reach the next area. The collapsed tower. Up ahead is a simple 4-story structure with the boss waiting on the top floor. Right inside is an experiment facing away from the player, clearly set up to encourage players to break the glass bottle on its back. This teaches players that breaking the glass bottle puts the enemy into a long stagger and opens up its white health state. Get too close to the stairs and you'll also aggro the ranged enemy above. After taking out the ranged enemy, we notice there's another room on the first floor with yet another experiment facing away from us. I slowly creep over, and somehow this experiment has incredible sixth sense. Too bad for it, my stats are high enough to just brute force the fight. Heading up to the second floor, it's obvious the designers are doing everything they can to draw your attention to the glass bottle on these enemies' backs. Fight this one for a little while, and you end up pulling a second one. One of these enemies is dangerous enough on its own, let alone fighting two at once. So the obvious play is to separate them. I immediately drop back down to the first floor. Fighting both of them in a tight space is just asking to get beaten to death. Their leash range is pretty impressive too. I dragged both of them all the way back to the Stargazer. Thankfully, they don't have huge movesets, so you can wear them down patiently. Once I brute force the first one down, the second becomes an easy one-on-one. Up on the third floor, there's another experiment with its back turned. After dealing with the previous 4, this one is no problem at all. The only way forward from here is outside. One thing this game really likes to do is break up long stretches of indoor exploration. It always finds opportunities to expand the level into outdoor spaces. Follow the blue trail and the nearby loot, and you end up on the rooftop ledge. Here's our first look at a new exploding enemy. The suicide enemy patrolling below is guaranteed to catch the player's attention. Before dealing with it, take a few more steps along the main path to unlock the shortcut back to the Stargazer. Then head back and jump down from the rooftop. Pick up a vivid ergo fragment. The other direction leads to a new supply crate. The stairs here are already built in, letting you climb right back to the main path. Now let's head into the room beside the shortcut. Upstairs, we encounter the area's first boss, the Stalker. This boss killed me so many times on my first playthrough. Every run back up those long stairs to the third floor felt endless. It fights with a pair of blades, mixing fast and delayed attacks, and can even create clones. Thankfully, whenever the clone is active, the real body becomes less aggressive. I also remember that when it entered its white health state, it roared to keep players from getting close, just like the female experiment elite back in the exhibition hall. This time though, it never happened. When the white health state finally appeared, I changed straight into a Fable Art and somehow still didn't get the fatal attack. In the end, I won through sheer stats. Out of 8 pulse cells, I had just 1 left. Definitely a tough fight. After beating the boss, take the elevator on the right side of the room back down. Following the street brings us beneath the bridge leading to the area's final boss. This part already existed in the original Plaza. Behind the Stargazer, the doorway is highlighted by a yellow glow and a nearby enemy, so let's explore that first. 2 face-hugging enemies are waiting inside. This brings us back to the phone booth, where we first encountered the Trinity side quest. It's a nice little callback. Then, a disruption pillar and a dimensional butterfly lure players onto the side paths where the game originally taught fury attacks. Luckily, I managed to brute force the butterfly before it escaped. The original elite has now been upgraded into a tentacle elite. Just like the one back in Plaza, this enemy unleashes a tentacle combo after becoming staggered. After defeating it, you can walk to the end and see that all the lights at Hotel Krate have gone out. Honestly, putting a disruption pillar here feels completely unnecessary. Head back to the main route, clear out the small enemy guiding players forward, and go up the stairs. Loop around the blocked hallway and return to the Stargazer. This little side path also forms a loop, giving players one last reminder of what entering Krate Plaza felt like at the beginning of the game. On the small path to the left of the boss gate, a pickup draws players in, only for a hidden enemy to be waiting behind it. This enemy doesn't really add much. It feels like the designers just wanted to hand out a free ergo fragment. And with that out of the way, we can focus entirely on the final boss. Compared to before it was controlled by the tentacles, it's much more aggressive, has a larger moveset, and can even summon smaller enemies. You also have to watch out for the corruption debuff. Other than that, after everything we fought up to this point, the rest of its moves actually feel pretty standard. And that's the new Krate Plaza. So, what do you guys think of this level? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.